Evander Holyfield was born on October 19, 1962, in the small mill town of Atmore, Alabama, as the youngest of 9 children. With a much older set of siblings and a different father, his early life was unique. His family later moved to Atlanta, where he grew up in the tough Bowe homes housing projects. Holyfield often calls himself a late bloomer. When he graduated from Fulton High School in 1980, he stood just 5 feet 8 inches and weighed 147 pounds. Evander Holyfield, famously known as the Real Deal, made boxing history as the only fighter to reign as the undisputed champion in 2 weight classes, cruiserweight in the late 80s and heavyweight in the early 90s. He stands out as the only 4-time world heavyweight champion, holding the WBA, WBC, and IBF titles across several reigns. Starting as a promising amateur, Holyfield won a bronze medal for the U.S. at the 1984 Olympics, turned pro at 21, and quickly climbed to win his first world title in cruiserweight in 1986. By defeating Buster Douglas in 1990, he claimed the unified heavyweight titles. Along the way, Holyfield faced legends like George Foreman, Larry Holmes, and famously, Mike Tyson, winning their first bout in 1996 in an unforgettable rematch where Tyson was disqualified for biting Holyfield's ear. In 1999, Holyfield fought Lennox Lewis for the undisputed title in a dramatic match ending in a split draw. The following year, he made history by winning the heavyweight title a record 4th time. Evander Holyfield started boxing at age 7 and quickly showed talent, winning his first boys' club tournament. By 13, he was competing in the Junior Olympics, and by 15, he was crowned Southeastern Regional Champion and earned the Best Boxer Award. By 1984, Holyfield had an impressive record, 160 wins with 76 knockouts. At 20, he took home a silver medal at the 1983 Pan American Games, followed by a bronze at the 1984 Olympics in Los Angeles. His pro debut came later that year, winning by decision at Madison Square Garden. Throughout 1985, he kept racking up victories with knockouts across the country, eventually moving up to cruiserweight, where he ended the year undefeated. In 1986, Holyfield captured his first world title, beating WBA cruiserweight champion Dwight Muhammad Qawi in an epic 15-round battle. He continued to dominate in 1987, defending his title and unifying the WBA and IBF belts. After a string of victories, he solidified his place as the undisputed world cruiserweight champion in 1988 by defeating Carlos de Leon. Holyfield then set his sights on the heavyweight division. His heavyweight debut was in 1988, where he knocked out James "Quick" Tillis and later Pinklon Thomas. By 1989, he had thrilling wins over former champion Michael Dokes and Brazilian Adilson Rodriguez. Holyfield's impressive performance continued into 1990 when he defeated Seamus McDonough, solidifying his position as the top contender and putting him on a path to the heavyweight championship. Holyfield was all set for a title shot against Mike Tyson in 1990, but boxing took an unexpected turn. In one of the sport's biggest upsets, 29-year-old Buster Douglas shocked the world by defeating the undefeated Tyson in Tokyo, becoming the undisputed heavyweight champion. Instead of facing Tyson, Holyfield's title shot came against Douglas as his first challenger. On October 25, 1990, the two faced off. Douglas came in at 246 pounds, while Holyfield, in peak form at 208 pounds, was ready to fight. In the 3rd round, Douglas tried a big uppercut, but Holyfield countered with a perfect right hand that put Douglas on the mat. Holyfield became the new undisputed heavyweight champion, with all judges scoring in his favor. Holyfield's first title defense came against the legendary George Foreman in the much-hyped battle for the ages. Although Foreman was 42, he lasted all 12 rounds and even rocked Holyfield a few times. Still, Holyfield walked away with a unanimous decision victory. A showdown with Tyson was set for November 1991, but it was postponed due to Tyson's training injury and later canceled when Tyson went to prison. They eventually met in 1996, with Holyfield winning by TKO, and again in 1997, when Tyson was disqualified after infamously biting Holyfield's ears. In Atlanta, Holyfield defended his title against late replacement Burt Cooper, who put up a surprising fight. After knocking Cooper down, Holyfield was momentarily rocked and received his first standing 8 count. He rebounded fast, unleashing a series of punishing shots that led the referee to stop the fight in the 7th round. In 1992, Holyfield went up against another former heavyweight champion, 42-year-old Larry Holmes. Holmes, coming off a win over Ray Mercer, gave Holyfield a tough fight, even opening a cut above his eye. Despite the challenge, Holyfield won by unanimous decision, keeping his place as the reigning champion. Holyfield's trilogy with 25-year-old Riddick Bowe, a 1988 Olympic silver medalist, began with a hard-fought battle in Las Vegas. Bowe won the undisputed title by unanimous decision, handing Holyfield his first defeat. Round 10 was so intense, it earned Round of the Year honors from the ring. In Round 11, Holyfield was knocked down, with his attempts to brawl head-to-head against the bigger, stronger Bowe costing him the fight. Holyfield started 1993 strong with a unanimous decision win in a rematch against Alex Stewart. In April 1994, he faced Michael Moorer, who aimed to become the first Southpaw heavyweight champ. Holyfield knocked Moorer down in Round 2, but Moorer came back to win a close majority decision. After the fight, Holyfield was told he had a heart condition, and he announced his retirement. Later, it was speculated the condition could be linked to medication from the fight, not a chronic problem. During this time, Holyfield felt a renewed strength after attending a Benny Hinn service, and he even went to a Hinn event in Philadelphia, where he received a blessing and believed his heart was healed. Passing a new health check, Holyfield returned to boxing in 1995, winning a 10-round decision against Olympic champ Ray Mercer, making history as the first man to knock Mercer down. Holyfield's rematch with Bowe on November 6, 1993, became one of the sport's most unforgettable moments. During Round 7, a parachutist descended over the ring, causing a chaotic scene as he became tangled in the ropes and was beaten by Bowe's camp. Known as the Fan Man fight, the bizarre incident delayed the match for 20 minutes, but Holyfield eventually emerged victorious by a narrow decision, reclaiming the heavyweight titles. His victory earned him ABC's Wide World of Sports Athlete of the Year in 1993. In their final match, Holyfield briefly knocked Bowe down with a powerful left hook, but Bowe ultimately won by knockout in Round 8. Holyfield later revealed he had fought through illness, claiming to have contracted hepatitis before the fight. Despite the challenges, his legendary battles with Bowe solidified his place as a boxing icon. In 1996, Holyfield squared off against former world champion Bobby Chiz, ending the bout with a fierce 6th-round knockout. But his real showdown was just around the corner, a long-awaited clash with Mike Tyson. Tyson, fresh off regaining the WBA heavyweight title, was the favorite heading into the fight on November 9th. Yet, Holyfield shocked the world, claiming victory with an 11th-round TKO, marking his 3rd WBA heavyweight title win. Although George Foreman held the lineal championship at the time, Holyfield's triumph went down as one of boxing's greatest upsets. Their intense rivalry led to a rematch on June 28, 1997, forever remembered as the Bite Fight. In one of boxing's strangest moments, Tyson bit Holyfield's ear in the 3rd round, earning a point deduction. After some hesitation from referee Mills Lane, Holyfield chose to keep fighting. But Tyson struck again, biting Holyfield's other ear and tearing off a piece, which he spat out on the canvas. The ring erupted in chaos. Tyson was disqualified, and debate followed. Tyson defended his actions as retaliation against Holyfield's supposed headbutts, while others believed he simply sought an exit as defeat loomed. Trainer Teddy Atlas later remarked that Tyson would disqualify himself, calling him weak and flawed. Holyfield's next rematch came against Michael Moorer, who had reclaimed the IBF title. In another masterclass performance, Holyfield floored Moorer 5 times, winning in the 9th round and unifying the WBA and IBF titles. The following year, Holyfield defended his title against Von Bean in front of a home crowd at the Georgia Dome. But his performance sparked questions about whether age was catching up to him. By 1999, fans demanded a unification fight with Lennox Lewis, the WBC champion from the UK. The March fight ended in a controversial draw, with most observers feeling Lewis had outboxed Holyfield. Holyfield cited leg and stomach cramps affecting his performance. The rematch later that year left no questions. Lewis was named the undisputed champion after a unanimous decision. Holyfield reflected, saying, "I haven't felt this good after a fight since I was a cruiserweight. Maybe I'd have the victory if I'd fought a little harder." In 2000, Lennox Lewis was stripped of the WBA title for not facing underdog John Ruiz, opting instead to fight David Tua. With the WBA title vacant, Holyfield and Ruiz were set up for a showdown. That August, Holyfield claimed victory in a controversial 12-round decision, making him the first boxer in history to hold the heavyweight title 4 times. He attributed his less-than-stellar performance to a broken eardrum. Just 7 months later, Ruiz made his own mark by knocking Holyfield down and winning a 12-round decision, becoming the first Hispanic heavyweight champion. By December, the two were back in the ring for the third fight in their trilogy, which ended in a draw, leaving Ruiz with the WBA title. Holyfield's 2002 started with high hopes. In June, he squared off against former champion Hazem Rahman to decide who would challenge Lewis next. A severe hematoma over Rahman's eye, caused by a headbutt, forced the fight to end in the 8th round, with Holyfield declared the winner. When Lewis chose to pursue a fight with Tyson rather than face Chris Byrd, the IBF stripped him of his title. This led to a matchup between Holyfield and Byrd for the IBF heavyweight belt. On December 14, 2002, Byrd secured victory over Holyfield by unanimous decision. Holyfield then faced James Toney in October 2003, but his corner stopped the fight in the 9th round, giving Toney a TKO win. Holyfield, at 42, faced Larry Donald in November 2004 and suffered his 3rd straight loss by unanimous decision. In 2005, the New York State Athletic Commission banned Holyfield from fighting in the state, citing diminished skills. Despite this setback, Holyfield insisted his losses were due to a shoulder injury, not age. In August 2006, he returned to the ring and knocked out Jeremy Bates in the 2nd round after a dominant performance. Holyfield continued his comeback, beating Friso Quindo in November 2006 by unanimous decision, even knocking him down in the 1st round. He followed this with a TKO win over Vinny Matalone in March 2007 and then defeated Lou Savarese in June, knocking him down twice before a unanimous decision win. These victories set the stage for a title shot against Sultan Ibragimov for the WBO heavyweight title. On October 13, 2007, Evander Holyfield faced Sultan Ibragimov in an attempt to claim his 5th heavyweight title. Although he couldn't secure the victory, Holyfield put up a strong fight, rattling the younger champion in the final round. The bout itself saw little action, with Ibragimov generally landing 2 punches to Holyfield's 1, leading to a unanimous decision in Sultan's favor with scores of 118 to 110 and 117 to 111 twice. Holyfield, however, wasn't deterred, telling BBC Scotland, "I'm going to fight, be heavyweight champion again, and then tell the world how I did it." On December 20th, 2008, Holyfield challenged WBA champion Nikolai Valuev in Zurich, Switzerland, for $600,000, the lowest purse of his championship career. Valuev narrowly won by a controversial decision. One judge called it a draw at 114 to 114, while the other scored at 116 to 112 and 115 to 114 for Valuev, leaving fans and analysts outraged. Though a rematch was expected, it never materialized, and Valuev later lost the title to David Haye. Holyfield then took a break, but planned to come back against South African fighter Francois Botha, initially set for January 2010 in Uganda. Postponements eventually moved the fight to April 10th in Las Vegas. Motivated by critics, Holyfield said, "I can still fight. I won't leave until I'm the undisputed champion again." On fight night, Holyfield won with an 8th-round knockout to claim the vacant WBF title. The early rounds saw Botha controlling the pace, but as the rounds went on, Holyfield turned it around, stunning Botha in the 7th and knocking him down in the 8th. Though Botha got up, Holyfield overwhelmed him with punches until the referee stopped the bout. Holyfield was behind on 2 scorecards but led on the 3rd. After this victory, Holyfield expressed interest in facing one of the Klitschko brothers. He was next set to fight Sherman the Tank Williams in November 2010, but the bout was delayed to January 22, 2011. During the fight, an accidental clash of heads caused a cut over Holyfield's left eye, and after the third round, he couldn't see clearly, ending the match in a no contest. Holyfield was scheduled to fight Denmark's top heavyweight Brian Nielsen on March 5, 2011, but the bout was delayed to May due to the injury from the Williams fight. At the weigh-in, Holyfield clocked in at 225 pounds, while Nielsen weighed 238. Nielsen promised a competitive fight, but Holyfield dominated, knocking him down in the third round. Despite Nielsen's efforts to provoke Holyfield with antics, Holyfield finished strong, backing Nielsen into the corner with powerful punches until the referee stopped the fight in the 10th round. After his victory over Nielsen, Holyfield set his sights on one last shot at a world heavyweight title. But with all major belts held by the Klitschko brothers, securing a match proved elusive. After over a year of trying, Holyfield announced his intention to retire in 2012, telling Yahoo News, "The game's been good to me, and I hope I've been good to the game. I'm 50 years old on Friday, and I've done everything I wanted to do in boxing." Yet later that month, Holyfield seemed to reconsider, declaring himself still a serious contender. With no title shot in sight, his career stalled for several months, and by June 2014, Holyfield officially retired. Since then, he's become an advisor to heavyweight hopeful Zhang Zhilei. In 2015, he took part in a lighthearted charity exhibition with Mitt Romney in Utah to raise funds for Charity Vision. Then, in April 2021, news broke that Holyfield would return for an exhibition bout against Kevin McBride on June 5th, under the Teofimo Lopez vs. George Kambosos Jr. card. However, repeated delays ultimately canceled the match, leading Holyfield to file a grievance with Triller. In September 2021, Holyfield was called to replace Oscar de la Hoya, who had contracted COVID-19, in a Triller PPV bout against Vitor Belfort. Originally set for California, the fight was moved to Florida after the California State Athletic Commission refused to sanction Holyfield in any match format. In Florida, Holyfield faced Belfort, ultimately losing in a first-round TKO. Evander Holyfield's journey through the boxing world was marked by relentless determination, resilience, and a fierce fighting spirit. From becoming the first boxer to claim the world heavyweight title 4 times to unforgettable battles with legends, Holyfield's story is one of great tenacity. Though he faced numerous challenges both in and out of the ring, Holyfield's legacy endures as a testament to his dedication to the sport. Now retired, he remains a respected figure, inspiring the next generation of fighters with his story of perseverance and unyielding belief in the impossible.